Dennis found me on the worst day of my life. And when I say he found me, I mean it literally. Because I wasn't looking for him, I was looking for an escape. Anything to fill the emptiness that had been growing inside me for months. It started on a cold Saturday morning. I had woken up alone in an apartment that felt more like a waiting room than a home. The silence was suffocating. My friends had stopped calling. After losing my job 3 weeks earlier, I had nothing but time and an overwhelming sense that I was drifting through life without purpose. That's when I remembered something my grandmother used to say. When you feel lost, go find someone who needs you more than you need yourself. So I grabbed my keys and drove to the local animal shelter. The shelter smelled like disinfectant and desperation. Dogs barked from every direction, their voices echoing off the concrete walls. A tired-looking volunteer handed me a clipboard and pointed down a hallway. "Take your time," she said. "They all deserve a chance." I walked slowly past cage after cage. Some dogs jumped excitedly, others cowered in the corner. A few wagged their tails hopefully, but none of them felt right. And if you're walking through this story with me right now, but you still haven't subscribed, I have to ask, what are you waiting for? Because what I'm about to tell you changed my entire life. If you believe that the right connection can find you when you need it most, hit that subscribe button. You won't regret it. I was about to give up when I heard it. A sound that didn't belong. It wasn't barking. It wasn't whining. It was talking, or at least it sounded like talking. A strange rhythmic mumbling coming from the last cage at the end of the hallway. I stopped and stared. There, pressed against the bars, was a medium-sized black dog with the most intense eyes I'd ever seen. His tail was wagging so hard his entire body shook, and he was making these deliberate sounds, these almost words that seemed to be directed specifically at me. "What are you trying to say?" I whispered, kneeling down. He responded immediately, his mouth moving in a way that looked impossibly human. The sounds weren't random. There was intention behind them, emotion, urgency. I flagged down the volunteer. "What's his story?" She sighed. "That's Dennis. He's been here for 4 months. Nobody wants him because, well, you can hear why. He does that constantly. It freaks people out. What is he doing? We think he's trying to communicate. Some dogs are just vocal, but Dennis is different. It's like he has something important to say, and he won't stop until someone listens." I looked back at Dennis. He hadn't taken his eyes off me. "I'll take him," I said. The volunteer looked surprised. "You sure? He's a lot to handle." "I'm sure." The first night with Dennis was chaos. He wouldn't stop talking. While I unpacked his supplies, he sat in the living room delivering what I can only describe as a speech. His sounds varied in pitch and intensity, like he was explaining something incredibly important. Around midnight, exhausted, I finally snapped. "I don't understand you," I shouted. Dennis stopped. The apartment fell silent. Then slowly, he walked over, placed his head in my lap, and made the softest sound I'd ever heard from him. Almost like he was saying, "I know, I'm just so glad you're here." That's when I started crying. All the emotions I'd been holding back came flooding out. The loneliness, the failure, the fear. And Dennis just sat there, letting me hold him, occasionally making those soft sounds that felt like comfort. From that night on, everything changed. I started paying attention, really paying attention. Dennis's sounds varied depending on the situation. When he was hungry, there was a specific rhythm. When he wanted to go outside, a different pattern. Each emotion had its own unique voice. I began responding. At first, I felt ridiculous having conversations with a dog, but Dennis never made me feel foolish. He listened to every word, his head tilting, his eyes focused, and then he'd respond in his own way. People thought I was crazy. "You know he's just making noise, right?" they'd say. But they were wrong. Dennis wasn't just making noise, he was communicating. And more importantly, he was teaching me how to listen, not just to him, but to everything I'd been ignoring in my own life. Three months later, I got a call from a production company. They'd seen a video I posted of Dennis and wanted to feature us in a documentary. I looked at Dennis, and he made that specific sound he always made when he thought I should take a risk. So I said yes. The documentary changed everything. We got thousands of messages from people who'd found their own Dennis, a pet that communicated in ways that defied explanation, that saved them when they needed it most. I started a channel to share more stories. Dennis became a celebrity, but more than that, I found my purpose, helping other people connect with fescue animals. Dennis still talks constantly. Every morning, he greets me with his elaborate sounds. Every car ride, he provides commentary. Every night before bed, he has his say. And I wouldn't change a single thing. Because Dennis didn't just find me that day in the shelter, he saved me. He showed me that communication isn't about words. It's about showing up, being present, and refusing to give up on connection even when nobody else understands. So here's my question for you. Have you ever met someone, human or animal, who changed your life just by refusing to stay silent? Someone who kept trying to reach you until you finally listened? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. Dennis and I read every single one. Dennis is gone, and his love will live in our hearts forever. We will never forget you, Dennis.